Welcome to the Metaphysics Hour, everyone. This is Rory Colgan. Yes, this man right here looking at you. Or am I just looking at a camera and you're watching me in the future? How'd you get there? This is episode 19, if I'm not mistaken, and we are going to be discussing the law of attraction, one of the most commonly talked about universal laws due to the success of the book and the videos and all the other publicity stuff around The Secret. Now, what's interesting about The Secret and anything based off of The Secret's principles is that they talk about more than the law of attraction, but they lump it all together into the law of attraction. Not sure exactly why they did that, but it's probably because 1/13th of anything is not as good as 13/13ths. You could have one slice of pie, and if you put it into 13 components, that'd be a very small slice, or you just eat the whole pie. So I think that's the reason why so many of the other universal laws are actually in The Secret. But that's not a criticism, at least in a negative sense. It's just a truth about what's in that particular book. So I will describe the universal law of attraction in a very simple and hopefully easily comprehensible phrase. Like attracts like. Now, being 1/13th of how the universe functions, like and like don't always get to come together. And sometimes you would think, I'm not anything like that person that was my wife, that is now my ex-wife, or whatever it is that comes into your mind when you say, I'm not like that. I didn't attract that. I didn't attract the car wreck, the tooth decay, the heart problem, the etc., the etc., the etc., 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 etc. Now, like I said, that's 1/13th of the universe functioning. So the law of attraction is there to show that there is a vibration. That vibration emanates from your very existence. And with that vibration, you become a magnet for things similarly vibrating. Now, part of the reason why people have a hard time fully grasping this concept is that there are a lot of different levels to your consciousness. So there are a lot of different magnets. And a lot of these magnets are operating unconsciously. That's typically why bad things come up and you're like, I didn't think anything bad, but I still ended up getting robbed or mugged or pulled over or blah, 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 blah. That is typically due to being unconscious of what's actually occurring. I think we've talked about this, but maybe we haven't. So I'll mention it as if I haven't talked about this. There are 7 distinct levels to your mind, at least in the school that I went to, where I got 4 of those degrees, or 3 of those degrees and 1 of those certificates. In any case, that means that there are 7 distinct magnetic forces that are either pulling or pushing away. I don't know if you were a kid, well, I know you were a kid at one point, but as a kid, I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to take 2 magnets and make them come together and they slam together real quickly, like attracts like. And then if you flipped one of those magnets and then you tried to bring it together, it would actually resist. And I just remember playing with that consistently, just trying to feel that presence that was invisible. I could feel it, but I couldn't see it. So that was fascinating to me. So the law of attraction works in that particular way, that it's going to either attract things to you or it's going to push things away. Now, things can change, again, based upon the number of magnets, how they're arranged, and just the circumstances of how those arrangements might shift given different scenarios. So you might be doing fine, you might be doing fine, you might be a little upset about work, and then as soon as you start getting down into that vibe and you're thinking about work, somebody rear ends you. Now, you could say it wasn't your fault, you didn't attract it, but you could also say you were a little pissed off about what happened at work, so your vibration was a little bit lower. You were also distracted, so you weren't aware of the person that was behind you that was distracted. 2 distracted people come together, and then you have an accident. Now, not trying to be facetious or trying to downplay what can oftentimes be a very serious event, because accidents aren't fun, nor are they typically productive in any sense of the word, but they can produce an awareness. An awareness, if honest, can say, wow, I was distracted. And what did I attract? I attracted somebody else that was distracted. When 2 distracted people get really close together, It's like a magnet and a nail. It tends to work out where something's going to happen. So if you want to be a safe driver, for instance, you have to have the consciousness not only of driving defensively, but being aware that you're a safe driver. So you're going to attract safe drivers, and your influence is going to affect other people in positive ways. I don't think I've ever seen a car wreck happen. Maybe, I mean, I've been on the road a lot, put a lot of miles on my cars because I travel quite a bit. I'm not that old, but I've been driving for half my life, so 16 years, 15 years, thereabouts. And I don't think I've ever seen an actual wreck where it's like a totaled car or something like that. On occasion, I've backed into something that was already parked, or watched somebody back into something that was already parked. But I don't think I've ever seen one of those things. And what I have seen quite often is somebody that's veering off the road, or maybe in some case it might even be me, veering off the road and then checking the self and getting back in line so that no wreck does happen. And to me, that is a function of the law of attraction, that I want to be a safe driver. I can't afford a wreck. I have limited liability, basically what the government allows me legally to get away with. If it was a free world, I would not get insurance right now because I'm a safe driver, and basically the law of attraction. You attract what you are. And if I were to attract an accident, well, then that's a learning opportunity. So to sum up this example, it really just points out that what you are, what you're vibrating out, is magnetically attractive to the other forces in the universe. And people, places, and things come into your life, or they're pushed away. And this can be good news, this can be bad news, and that's something that we'll talk about probably in the next lesson about the law of duality. Point being of all these words is that you have the power to change your vibration, so therefore you have the power to change your magnetic field. The most important thing you need to do to harmonize with the law of attraction is become conscious of all your magnetic forces. People know them as the chakras. Each one of these chakras is a doorway of energy that connects with a specific level of mind and connects it to the physical, so that you have access to all these levels if you so choose. You can remain unconscious. You can remain as the proverbial ostrich in the sand, or you can become conscious and become aware of what you're putting out. I very recently have had a great experience with this within my love life, and I'm not going to get into specifics because this is on the World Wide Web, but it's essentially that I've had a feeling, a vibration of what I've wanted. And for years, I've been disappointed, whether by being dumped by somebody or having to dump somebody because there was deceit or lying or dishonesty involved. And finally, just a couple days ago, I was spending time with my current girlfriend, and I just closed my eyes and I just experienced that finally that vibration that I had been putting out has come back to where I am. I've attracted somebody that equals the vibration I've been putting out. And all along the way, there were moments with it with the previous girls, but it wasn't sustainable. And that was because there were unconscious magnetic pulls on their part and my part that ended up taking us apart. And where I am with this particular one is going into a territory I haven't been to before, because I've imagined having this, but I've never actually achieved it. So now that I'm here, it's going to be a new vista of awareness as the law of attraction continually attracts and repels, attracts and repels. So again, the most important thing you can do to harmonize with this law is become aware of yourself. Utilize your chakras. Go to innerhealthtoday.com and look at services. You can be taught how to use your chakras by me, somebody that went to a school that educated me and how to use them effectively, efficiently, and correctly. Because it's more than just spinning them and more than just visualizing them. There's a correct usage, and then there's a usage that will imbalance yourself. So go to innerhealthtoday.com if you need help. Otherwise, use your God-given talents and strengths and abilities to become conscious so you can be aware of what you're putting out in the universe and receive what you want and change the patterns so that you don't necessarily have to bring disaster in your life. You can bring in wonderful things into your life consistently as you're doing the dark battle inside yourself to change those attractor fields. And remember that all of life is for learning. So whether it's a quote unquote positive or negative situation, you can still utilize it for your soul growth, your development, as we talked about last episode with the law of evolution. Hope this has been entertaining and enjoyable. Like I said, an hour of metaphysics in about 10 minutes or so, because we're talking about quality, not quantity. Your life is important, and I hope you are blessed, and we'll see you soon.